What's up, guys? Barry Game here, back with some more AFK Journey, and today we have another heroic gauntlet up. This time it is Parisa. Now this is another very easy one here. There's a couple suggested heroes. Let's be honest, Dunlinger is not one you're probably going to have or want to use in this one. But the majority of these teams are going to be 100% free to play viable. And Sylvina is going to be the main hero you're going to be using for that energy denial. We want to slow down as much as possible. The one nice thing they allow you to do is clear a certain difficulty and not have to go through all the easier ones. These ones I think are made for essentially if a new player starts and they have some difficulties they can work through. These are really good though because Crimson Essence and Invite Letters are nice, as well as a few Velvet Vouchers and of course some Twilight Essence. And of course in a week's time we'll have the challenge missions to unlock bonus Twilight Essence and other things. So let's go through number 4 here. These battles are very simple. You might have already figured them out 100% on your own. They are very easy to figure out. So a couple things that we're using, the core here: Thorin, Smokey, and of course Coco. Very easy heroes. Everybody has these heroes. Beyond that, we're going to go with a couple other heroes. Odie is a really good one to use. You can also use someone like a Merrily or another ranged unit. That works well as well. And of course one other one, this one's not as important which one we're using here. The main hero we're going to be using in this situation is going to be a Sylvina, and that's going to be pretty much the setup we use here every single time. I don't imagine this is going to be too difficult for us. Again, if you need to drop one of the support heroes and add in someone like Merrily or Lily May or something like that, that's very possible. But this is probably the easiest team to put together that everybody has. Now again, it will also depend on what the power level of your team is, because remember, that's very important. Parisa's enhancement really is not all that significant. She marks one additional enemy and his damage is increased by 20% for each cast. If all non-summon enemies are already marked, Flora Splendor will instead deal damage equal to 1000% of her max HP to all enemies. It's not really a difficult one as long as you can get enough damage done. And again, I do think Odie is a huge play here because you get that execution mark that slowly builds up. That's really good. And in reality, we just want her to do as few ultimates as possible. There are some other heroes you can use. You can see right there, she just used it a second time and she's dead. The problem is when you let her get to too many ultimates, that's going to be when this becomes a very big issue. But you see, this core is what everybody has. You just don't want her to get 5 of them, because then that becomes a big issue for AoE damage here. So you see right here, she gets her first one off right there, gets her second one off right there, gets her third one off, maybe. Yep, right there. We're going up to number 4 almost. Yep, number 4. So this last one, number 6, could be a little bit difficult. I don't think for a lot of people it is, though. This is a very simple one, so long as you have some key heroes here. But again, you could go even crazier with this. You could say, forget you. We're just going to go full energy denial on this. You could run heroes like Vala in this team. Heck, even if you have a built Burial or something, like Burial will be a great addition to this too, because these 3 heroes will all have ways to essentially drain the energy. So right there, she finally got her first one off. And you see a lot of energy draining going on here. Got her second one off. Although we don't have Odie in this team, which is probably important. To be honest, I think probably the thing that is least needed on this is support heroes. And if you went more for an offensive team like this, let's see what happens. So she gets 1 ultimate off. She gets 2 ultimates off. Man, that's pretty slow. You can see the fight. Number 3, and that's it. She gets 3 off. Granted, she still does quite a bit of damage to our team and everything, so having a support hero would be good. And I guess if you really just had Dunlinger, I feel like Dunlinger and straight up offense is probably the best answer to all this. So putting you in, putting a Dunlinger in with you know, preventing them from using ultimates is probably going to be one of the best looks you can have here. Having a bunch of burst damage, and then also maybe even just throwing in a Sylvina to top it all off. A team like this might be really good because she won't even be able to get a single ultimate off. Granted, having Odie in the same team feels a little bit wasted here. And we have Lily May, which I don't think Lily May prevents that mark from going out. I actually am trying to see anybody has it. I feel like Lily May would be a really good counter to that, but I don't think that has anything to do with it. But you can see Dunlinger in this type of squad, which you put Lily May in, extremely potent. Now, let's just say you don't have Sylvina or anything like that. Again, going for a very offensive team can still get you there. So going for some of the best single target damage can still be good. So what I want to add into this team as well, you can add in Smokey because of course he still has his aura and everything, which can be very good. But again, single target damage heroes like Lily May can be very good. You might not have a Vala, which if you didn't start at the very beginning of the game, you probably won't. You could even probably use someone like Marilee in this situation. And I feel like you might just have enough burst damage to get this done. However, let's see. So there's 0 energy reduction on this squad. We got 1 ultimate, 2 ultimates, 3 ultimates. Honestly, the Smokey is a little wasted here. Yeah, I mean, in reality, you could say forget this whole strategy and just go for insane damage because I bet if we went for the best boss damage dealers here and took out the tanks, took out the support and everything and ran something like this, I almost wonder if this would be the best type of team to go up. Just like pure burst, straight up damage. You can see this is a very flexible boss right here. Now, some people that are on weaker accounts will have some issues, but that's why I'm trying to show you guys as many different hero combinations as there are. And you see right here, we already burst through all of that HP, and that was probably the fastest kill out of all of them. That's not using Sylvina, it's not using Vala, that's not using Dunlinger, that's not using a single hero. And this is pretty much a team I think a lot of people, especially as a free-to-play, will have built. Maybe not as strong as this because this is a pretty strong team combo for this. You could probably, since you're using physical damage dealers, use something like a Kruger as well. So maybe you miss Lily May. Let's see what happens adding a Kruger in here to get some physical damage reduction removal. Even though we're doing magic, we're doing true damage, we have a bunch of different ones. Granted, our Kruger is a little tougher than most, so that might be a little bit of cheating. You see a lot of damage is going out, and that is the first time we actually go down. So yeah, Lily May single target, probably one of the biggest handicaps you can put on your team. And honestly, I feel like if you just use Lily May, everything else on your team is pretty irrelevant. Use Lily May. I bet you could probably even use like a 2 damage dealer setup and go like all out support or buffer. So you could do like you and Mikola, something like this. So we're just all single target. We're doing as much attack buffing as possible. Granted that Smokey isn't hitting everybody with the attack buff. Let's see what happens. We also have 2 healers in this setup, so that might be enough to just keep us alive through a lot of the big bursts. Nope, doesn't matter. We out-damage the enemy. So there's a lot of different options here to get this done, so please make sure you get this done. It is a very easy one. Honestly, might even be easier than the Marilee one. I don't know. Hopefully you guys enjoy this one. Let me know what you guys think, and once the challenge missions open up, I'll show you guys the teams we use and how we cleared it out. Hopefully you guys enjoy this one. I'll see you guys next time.